Ready? Yeah. We the Koenas, baby. Yeah, there it is.
Hey Gator Gang! Mustang in her house and she cooks here. Welcome to We Love, We Live, We Travel with Mama Koena of the Koenas. If you know that you want to be a part of this family, please make sure that you subscribe, you like, you share, you comment. I'm so happy to be back doing one of the few things that I love doing, which is cooking and talking. So basically, I'm a firm believer in this household that the fridge must be as empty as possible before we restock. And so I've decided we're gonna whip up something quick with all the leftover things that we have until month end shopping. So I'm gonna make like a a la king, but not a la king, but a breast, but not a wrapped breast, but there's bacon, because I don't have enough bacon to wrap the chicken. So yeah, it's a mixture of everything and everything. I don't know what we'll call it. A la Mama Koena. And yeah, while we cook, we're gonna talk a bit about waiting to say yes. Something I'm very passionate about, something I've had my fair share experience, and I think I'm just here to encourage you ladies who are waiting to say yes, and you've been waiting, what to do while you wait, while you prepare yourself to become a wife. And I hope this video is not only just for waiting to say yes, but what are you doing while you're waiting to graduate, while you're waiting to get your first car, while you're waiting to buy your first house, while you're waiting, because we're all just in the waiting room of life. So let's start cooking. So the chicken a la what has chicken breast, some bacon. We're gonna use some mushroom, a bit of garlic, and some cheese and some parsley for this. And then this is what we had in our pantry, so I think I'm going to use this. Usually I use what you call chicken mushroom pan. It works just as well, but I'll try with the a la king, I don't know. And then we've got some spices. Fun fact, my dietitian actually taught me was green heads. So the spices with the green heads, they're the healthy guys. They're the ones that you need to be acquainted with very much. The ones with the brown lids and the red lids though, they have a lot of salt and they're not as healthy. But the red lids I think are safe. Many of you might know that, my journey to marriage. Yes, it was a long, all my life I had a fight. And I think why it was long, this was too much oil. Why I think it was long was because I think I was one of those blessed people who I knew from the get-go, within 3 months, I knew that Koena is going to be my husband, and so the upside with that is God is saying, okay, great, you know that he's going to be your husband, and then you ask yourself, but God, why are you telling me 3 months into the relationship? So usually you expect that, maybe he'll tell you a bit later after you've wasted some time. But what God did was he told me 3 months into the relationship that he's my husband. And homegirl was excited. And knowing in 3 months, you almost assume that, if I know in 3 months, then surely it's going to happen quite soon. But I've always heard of the saying, God will sometimes tell you the beginning of something and he'll tell you the end, but he'll never tell you what really happens in between. And I think a lot of us find ourselves in this betweenness, and you question, okay, while I wait, what am I going to do? Another thing I'm doing quickly is veggies. So it's just going to be the chicken meal and a side of veggies. No starch tonight. I think we've starched it out for the week, Uba. So yeah, it's just the chicken a la Koena, Mama Koena, and some frozen veggies. Usually my frozen veggies I cook with some onion first. I put in some onion just so that it's flavor. I don't like bland stuff. Also, just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean your food must be boring. Just a side note. Cool, so I'm going to share with you 3 funny stories that precede, years into the relationship. So 3 months in, I know, okay, this is going to be my husband, this is going to be the guy. I am set. Home girl, there she is, excited, right? First year goes in, second year goes in. By the third year, I'm very sure this guy is going to propose. Because now if Christ resurrected after 3 years, then surely the man must make the plan. And so on the third year, I remember going to American Swiss. Yeah, the third year. I go to American Swiss and I choose a ring that I really like. And then I send a picture to my sister-in-law and I say, hey, babes, if he does this thing, make sure. I hope he calls you and you tell him that this is the ring I want. And so sister-in-law was like, oh, okay, cool. I got you, dude. So what I'm doing now quickly is I am just frying my breast and I'm sorting out the mushrooms. These mushrooms I'm going to use as a filling for my chicken breast and also part of the sauce. So they're going to work 2 ways. And then in here I'm just frying my onion for the veggies. This onion is for the veggies. And then over here, it's my chicken breast. I'm just getting it to cook. And yeah, it's just a bit of oil and a bit of water. And so there I was in my third year, the third year, and I'm just pouring a bit of garlic in the mushroom. I'm very sure this guy's gonna propose, because hey, surely now can be the time. My birthday comes up, which happened to be my 23rd birthday, and I am 100% sure that no, this guy's gonna propose. I've done my nails, I smell good, like the combos are communicating, and literally the guy doesn't do it. And yeah, I'm sad, but okay, we'll try again. The next year, and all of these happen like literally around my birthday. I think I even ruined 3 years of my birthdays waiting for this proposal, obsessing about this proposal. The second birthday came, he took me to this beautiful place called Zenzele River Lodge in Wombats. And I kid you not, every moment, like every go-kart moment, every picnic moment, I just thought the ring is gonna come, and it didn't. And what that does, it robs you so much of the actual moment, And I didn't even see that, this guy made such an effort in the proposal. Oh, this guy is actually present, he's actually trying. And all I was doing was obsessing about the ring that won for 3 birthdays. Now this is the second birthday. Ends in tears. Instead of joy, instead of celebrating life, instead of celebrating this man who's going above and beyond. The third birthday, my 25th birthday. Now I'm sure, yes guys, I was so obsessed with birthdays. I thought birthdays were the day it would happen. And when I turned 25 again, I thought, okay. And this time everyone is sure. Mom is sure, sister sure. We are all sure that it's going to happen. We are all highly convinced that no, this guy's going to make the pots. And even then, my 25th birthday was so beautiful. We had like a theme party. I was so sure it's going to pop the question. Jololo. Another birthday ending in tears. And to be honest, guys, it's heartbreaking. You know, now I can talk about it, we can laugh about it, but at the time, it was crazy heartbreaking. And why it breaks your heart even more? Because you're running on your own time, you know. I was running on my own assumption that it's going to happen now. And running on the assumption that just because God told me now 5 years ago that it's going to happen, I thought it would be immediate, you know. And I think that's where we go wrong with waiting upon some of the promises of God. Is that one, we begin to fixate ourselves. We become so fixated with the promise that we forget about the process. And to be honest, had he popped the question when I was 23 or 24, I don't think I would have been ready, to be honest. I don't think marriage, guys, marriage is a new dynamic. It's a whole new experience. Just the covenant of marriage, the covenant in itself is a big deal, you know. And so for you to go in impatient and thinking about the white dress and the frills for the wedding celebration and neglecting to prepare yourself for the actual walk in the marriage for the rest of your life, I think, you know, we do ourselves a disservice. So while you wait, I was once at church all those many years ago, and we had a bishop visiting us, and his sermon was around not dying in the waiting room. And I can tell you, I died in the waiting room, and that's not how God wanted it to be, you know. Dying in the waiting room means that while you wait, you find yourself too obsessed with the wedding that you forget to hear God's voice. You forget to hear in the stillness. You forget to be still, you know. You're not still, you're always on edge, you're always waiting for the proposal, you're always doing your nails just in case he does it. And you forget to actually breathe and trust God with the current season you are in your life. Just an update of where we are right now. So my chicken has browned a bit. I'm just going to remove it off the oven so that I can do the stuffing things, although the stuffing things I'm not very sure. My onions are browning in here, and I'm going to put the veggies in here for the onions. And I've already started frying my mushroom and my bacon, and I put in some garlic, and I threw in some garlic herb and a bit of paprika. I'm obsessed with paprika. I don't know how and why, but yeah. Also, I don't want to put too much spice in here because the chicken is already seasoned. So what is going to happen when you're waiting, whatever you're waiting for? You're going to let fear drip in. I remember at some point, I was even like, okay, no, I clearly didn't hear from God all those 4 years ago. Clearly this is not going to happen. Yeah, clearly this guy is not trying. Yeah, actually, I don't even like this about him. So yeah, okay, maybe we should break up. And at one point, I remember having this conversation with him, telling him, hey, Jordan, I think you're wasting my time. Maybe it's best if we go our separate ways. Because maybe there's a nigga who's just going to see me now and do it right now. And so don't let fear almost get in the way of reaching your destination or getting to the promise. Also, ladies, stop nudging. Stop nagging, stop hinting, and have that conversation. I find a lot of women, you know, you get to your 7th year and you realize, shucks, we actually haven't spoken about marriage, or hey, this guy hasn't even hinted that he wants to do this thing. And so you get to your 7th year, lo and behold, you were actually not the one. And so I pray that, like me, you also get your word from God very early. And this word is not like special. It doesn't come to special people. Literally, before you go into a relationship, you ask God, I want, let it end in marriage. And so is he the person that honestly you have placed aside till eternity for me? Tell me now so that I don't end up in this long relationship. I don't catch feelings only to find out that, no, this was a waste of my time. And So yeah, while you wait, you can drop the hints, you can buy the ring, but if the man's not ready, the man ain't ready. And being ready, I think Bua would have to tell you what it means to be ready. And I think we've spoken about this, but for a black man, sometimes being ready is saving up for Mahadi. Sometimes being ready is, going over some past traumas that he has. Sometimes being ready is just that idea that, shucks, am I actually ready to spend the rest of my life with this one person? And that's why sometimes you're going to have to wait. And so don't let people lie to you, if he's ready, he'll do it now. No, I mean, yeah, definitely, if he knows, he does know. That I know for sure. But sometimes allow God to minister into the process so that it's not a easy come and an easy go. So, my breasts are medium. I just want to put the filling stuff, close them up, and then re-put them with the sauce. And now I'm just finishing off my veggies. So my onions are, they're cooked through a bit. I'm just throwing in my veggies in here. I always find that these mixed veggies from the frozen mixed veggies, they really sog out. So the best thing you can do is just steam them. And in my mixed veggies, I usually put vegetable spice. Those of you who know Ina is the girl she thinks she is. Just a bit so that it's not that bland. Sometimes I even go as much as putting a bit of curry powder, which is very nice. And it adds some nice things, just so your veggies aren't that boring. So I've just mixed it up, then I'm going to let them steam. And then my veggies are basically done. If you want, you can put some butter in there. But I did the mistake of putting some olive oil for the onions, so I don't think I'll put butter because that's double the oil. So while you wait to say yes, while you wait to say I do, while you wait to sign on the dotted line, I encourage you to, one, prepare yourself, right? You need to prepare. To be honest, if you're going into this thing, you need to be prepared. And by preparing, yes, it could mean going to choose your ring. But once you've chosen the ring, choose the ring, put it as a mental note memory, but don't go and hover over the ring. Now every week you are go American, Swiss, checking if that ring is still available. Now you're the one there. Every girl you see or every couple you see, you're on a date with this guy and you say, oh, these ones are married. Oh, how about, we do that stuff as girls. And as much as, it annoys, and it doesn't really annoy him, sometimes it's a turn off for guys. But what that does to us is that you forget to actually notice, the other things, that you need to work on in yourself whilst you're waiting for him to do the right thing based on your timing. So prepare yourself. And by preparing yourself, it means you plow into what this thing it is that you are trying to get into, that you so desperately want, If that means you go for counseling, sort yourself out. Marriage is tough. Sit with married people, watch these YouTube couples, listen to the actual dynamics of marriage, so that you know what you're going into on your own. Work on yourself as a woman. Woman first, who you are first, and then the kind of wife you do want to be. But also, this does sound very obsessive as well, but it's nice to have some information while you wait so that you're not going out there blindly, and some things don't surprise you as well. I think the beauty, and I think that's why in scripture God says, seek first the kingdom and all the things will be added, because if you seek first his word, seek first all the things that you need to be doing to advance his kingdom. If you seek first all the things of Christ, being Christ-like, Corinthians love-like, everything like, then I don't think you'll waste a second obsessing about when am I getting married, because there's so many things you have to do. I know I neglected a lot of my dreams in the process of wanting to be married, because I thought, now if I do this, will this impact the married life? If I shift this around, how will I manage this? And so you rob yourself of just being a true queen, man. Go out on dates, smell good, go to the movies, like enjoy your life. You know, once you get married, I'm not saying these things stop, but the dynamics of all the things you could have done in your singleness, they do change. You also need to, trust the process. There's some things that God is working out, and that's why this thing is taking longer than you imagined, and that's why it can't happen now. And the more your spiritual antenna is on, guys, the more you'll be so chilled. So homegirl over here, they've been very stubborn. This is like an open-breasted situation, so I don't think I'll be able to like close her up. But I think it'll just be a medley of what's. So I've put the mushrooms inside. This leftover stuff I'm gonna keep in with the sauce, and I'm just gonna make the sauce, get the breasts in there cooking, and yeah, that's about it. So my veggies are steaming quite nicely again. I'm just waiting for it to unfreeze itself. Once it's unfrozen itself, then I think we're good to go. I don't want it to be soggy, and I still want it to keep its color. Like the relationship, you don't want to end up being the soggy person. You must still keep and maintain the juice. So this isn't going as I planned, but we're just gonna go with the flow. I have mixed my chicken a la king spice with some milk. I usually like cream because cream makes it, nice and. But then I said we're using everything we already have in the kitchen. But cream would actually be very nice with this situation. I'm throwing these guys back in here. And we're just going to pour this all fully in there. And let it simmer some more. Yeah, so everything is currently simmering on the stove. My veggies are almost done. My chicken breast a la Mama Koena is also making her pot to be done. I'm just gonna chop up some parsley and then just throw it on top of the mix. But yeah, what this video was about basically, I'm just encouraging those of you who feel very down, don't die in the waiting room. You're not gonna wait forever. But also observe, take a minute to observe why are things taking long, and while they are taking long, what does God want me to do in this process? So for some things, why am I not graduating? Because you need to obviously finish your first year, second year, third year, for example. That's the process to be able to have your first graduation. Why am I not qualifying for the house yet? Okay, currently my credit score was messed up, or maybe now's not the time, or actually God has prepared a bigger, better house for me. So everything I believe has a solution. God knows your heart, He knows where you are, and I do believe that things are taking the time that they are taking because He's working on a few things. So don't lose heart. But while you wait, please take care of yourself. Communicate as well with your partner. Look, do you want to get married to me? Just so that you know what you are working towards, if marriage is the end goal. And also you save yourself a lot of time. So the chicken has been stewing in the broth, the a la king situation, milky situation, for about 30 minutes, just trying to get it cooked through. For those of you who are currently in the waiting room, continue to speak life and speak positivity. Even when you're all waited out, just keep speaking. It's going to happen. It's going to come to fruition. And especially if it's according to the will of God for your life. You must know for sure that this really is God's will for your life. Or God's direction, or the plan that God does have for you, and the journey that He does want to take you through. So you speak life into the situation. I love this analogy of the oven, right? So whenever you're cooking something, you're going to feel so tempted to keep, or even baking something, you're going to feel so tempted to keep peeping in the oven, opening the oven, But here's the thing, you're going to disturb the flow of what is happening in there. And sometimes you find that your ingredients flop. So you do not want to be that kind of a person who has flopping ingredients because you're impatient. And so while you wait for your cake to get ready in the oven, is your kitchen area clean? Have you washed the dishes? Have you brushed your teeth? Have you prepared yourself to enjoy the meal, that when the time the oven is ready to be opened, you've prepared yourself, you know the process, you know what it took for you to prepare that meal. And so I encourage you, while you do wait, plow into that which you are waiting for. And I trust that when God makes it happen, may you know why it took so long, and may you enjoy it when it eventually does happen for you. That was Cooking with a Mustard, signing out. They that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings of eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I don't mind waiting. Booba, come taste.
Hey, Gator Gang, Gator Buzz. What do we have here? What is this called, Booba? This looks great.
Mustang a la Queen.
Mustang a la Queen.
Mustang.
Yeah, I thought it was a la King.
No.
Like Mum's dog.
No.
Okay, sure. So do I dig right in? This looks great. I love the textures. Yeah, I can see some mushrooms. I like what you did with the mushrooms. So I'm getting flavors of mushroom, some bacon inside the chicken, which is very lovely, and I'm getting some aromas from the parsley. So yeah, this is definitely a star dish. I love it. It's awesome. It's great.
Thank you guys so much for coming to this. No, Booba, now you're taking over the show. We love you guys. We love, we live, we travel. Subscribe, like, share. Bye.
Peace.